They grow up so fast, don't they? This is Natural 9 episode 90 covering Critical Role episode 90. Last time, with Vax dead, the party escaped the elemental plane of water by the skin of their teeth, lodestones in hand. A somewhat tense resurrection spell happened, and Vax was brought back with a potential final mission ready for them down the line as they return to Amon to prepare for the next steps in their journey. The Raven Queen starts us off as she comes to Vax in a dream, reminding him that he's still here, and he's still hers, and that work is to be done. He agrees, but reminds her that while his allegiance is to her, his heart belongs to Vox Machina. The Raven Queen accepts this and tells him to enjoy his borrowed time. He wakes up next to Kiki, who remarks that she has nightmares too. They get a few winks in, but not before the Raven Creep gets one last croon in. After everyone wakes up, they eat breakfast as Shane, their old guard, returns. She's in need of work again, and Vox Machina welcome her back into the fold. Unfortunately, though, Cordell, her partner in crime, didn't make it. Kiki suggests a memorial for him, but Shane, tough as ever, insists she's already said her piece. Vox Machina then wonder what happened to the rest of their guards. Former NWA World Champion Jeff Jarrett is still in Whitestone as a member of the Pale Guard, and Nitibe is apparently still in Wildmount looking for clues on the Briarwoods? When did that happen? I guess I'm gonna have to rewatch. Anyway, a scry reveals that he's gone too. The party then discusses their plans for the day, and the topic arrives at Kiki's coronation as the voice of the Tempest. Grog suddenly gets a stomachache as he realizes that he will have to dress up, and he runs away. Will Kiki have to stay after the ceremony? And does Kiki really want to do it? She's super nervous. Vex tells her to make her choice, and Kiki chooses to head to the Cobalt Reserve first before heading to Zephyra. Which means dress shopping is needed. In Vasselheim instead. Terry's magic might be a bit conspicuous, especially with Dodie around. Remember, they aren't too keen on arcane casters. So the twins and Percy get started on a disguise. Vex is as money-grubbing as ever, and Vax and Liam have no idea what Vax is doing. Percy crafts masks, and Terry asks Shane for her hair. And she sells it to him for 500 gold. It's not a sex thing, I swear. It's for a wig for Dodie. Matt struggles with the not laughing for a long time. This also ruins Vex's displacer robe, which was used during the process for some reason. With that monstrosity in hand, the party heads to Vasselheim near the Quad Roads. The Platinum Sanctuary is an option, and the library here is another. The party doesn't heed the Order of the Stick's advice and splits the party, with the twins doing research on the Nine Hells, Percy and Kiki going to drop off the book with the Platinum Sanctuary, and the completely likely duo of Grog and Terry are left to go shopping, with Vex warning Terry not to let Grog shop. So at this point there's some confusion about who goes where because Vax and Vex end up at the Platinum Sanctuary. When they arrive, a guard asks them to wait as Vord is busy, and Vex thinks it might be a good idea to drop off the book at the Raven Queen's temple instead, but Vax doesn't want to go home to Mom just yet, and they're led in to the Platinum Sanctuary to meet with good old High Bearer Vord. The big guy asks to see the book after being told by Vex that it contains necromancy. Necromancy, right? Right? Anyone? He wants to have it studied so that it can be countered if need be. Vex insights, but gets the feeling that it's okay, that he can be trusted, and he has no ill intent. They promise to come back. Well, they would if they didn't need an Orcus history lesson first. An Orcus is a demon prince who wishes to take control and power and immortality. The Divine Gate makes sure to keep him out, but he still gets his baddies through. The prince has 4 horns, 2 of them his own and 2 given to his champions. One of those champions was destroyed during the ancient times before eventually being given to our old buddy Kavarn. The second is being searched for to no avail, but it's on the way, hopefully. Probably. The lesson moves to the 9 hells, which is a complicated subject to them. The Cobalt Reserve is probably the best place to look, and there's a counterpart in the city. So, yeah, that works. The 9 hells are a powerful society, and those that travel inside should probably not make a scene. As they leave, Vax takes Vex aside and tells her all about his recent experiences with the Raven Queen. And then he shows her his chest. There's a black portion of vein or bruising there now, though it doesn't look malignant. Apparently it just showed up. The party then realize that they have no idea what they're supposed to be doing, and Kiki and Percy realize that they're supposed to be looking for a library. I guess. A guy tells them to look for the Cobalt Vault, a smaller, still under construction version of the Ioun-centric library, run by the peeps known as the Cobalt Soul. The library cutie tells them that they can't get in, and Kiki tries to throw her clout around, but Percy's donation of the Manual of Quickness and Action seems to give her a good reason to consider. And apparently it is. They're finally able to get the attention of Kusuo, the head of the vault. The book and the discussion of what Percy and Kiki need is enough to convince this Kusuo guy to bring them in, and the library is apparently pretty busy. Defending against dragons has been a popular subject. I wonder why. They're taken to an underground chamber, and Percy climbs stairs like a dog as they make their way to a room where there are a lot of tomes. Some chained, some locked, lots of craziness. And 2 defensive monks appear. It's cool though, they're cool. Since the book on Orcus is an abyssal, Kiki and Percy can't read it. The book on the 9 hells, however, is in common, so Percy reads that one after finding another set of glasses, because Grog still has his. The hells have a pretty strict hierarchy, and society only survives in the hells because of this structure. Order, structure, and status are important. That's why Gurx got BTFO when he got his ass handed to him by Vox Machina. While they research this, Vax and Vex realize that they don't have the book. Many facepalms are had. Back at the library, the layers of the 9 hells are discussed, and the Iron City of Dis is the one that they're after. There's a lot of Rakshasa there, apparently. Kiki commits that to memory so that she can easily plane shift there. Finally, they're here for you. It's the last tag team of the VM crew. Terry, Dodie, and Grog go shopping and are about as conspicuous as physically possible without openly screaming that they have a robot. A guard asks them what they're here to do. Terry gives a great story about rescuing Dodie and Grog from a muscle man leper colony. And Sam gets to roll a deception check like a normal human being for once and rolls a perfect 10! No? No? No love for Ty Dillon? No. Well, it somehow works. Well, I mean, if the guards weren't following the 3 amigos. Grog tells Terry to act casual. Terry acts as casual as physically possible. Then Grog and Terry agree that maybe a diversion can help, but not before arriving at Grog's favorite shop in the Citadel. Apparently, Grog isn't exactly what's-his-face's favorite customer. Starts with a C, right? I think. Cedric. Cedric? Cedric. That's what it was. But a natural 20 persuasion manages to convince Cedric to listen to Grog and his new, rich friend, as long as there's no dragon woman around. Terry shuffles through the apparently useless scrolls available, but feels bad and manages to convince Cedric to sell him one for 4,400 gold, which is apparently 1,600 off. He does so by first putting up 200, then another 200, then 2k, then another 2k. The regular potions are brought out next, and Grog and Terry try their best to negotiate a fair price, but Cedric's up to his old tricks as he tries to get 10k off Grog. Way too much for those potions. Terry, after watching Grog trying to negotiate, offers Cedric a rarity. The magic egg that Grog had given him some time ago. 6,000 gold in the egg, and a good persuasion roll, because Terry believes it himself, net them the potions. And Dodie nets 2 friends in the unconscious guards that were following them. Aw, friends are nice. Grog tries to go entirely to GTA as he leans the 2 guards on a wall and throws ale at them as Cedric returns, realizing what happened, and tells Grog to never come back as he hands them the potions. I mean, that's fair. After the break, Team Half-Elf plus Percy reunites and gives the information that they found, and Vax reveals his reservations about bringing the book to the Platinum Sanctuary. Vax then hooks Percy's arm and hoists him off to the Raven's Crest Temple as Vex and Kiki increase their social link by going dress shopping. Vax and Percy increase their social link by having heart-to-heart in front of a creepy church. Such a Taliesin thing. Inside, they drop the book off with some creepy ladies, and Vax promises to come back when it's time, and they accept this. As they leave, Vax looks back and feels the second heartbeat that represents the boon given to him by the Raven Queen. A boon? Well, that's not a drink. Everyone else is drinking. Then Grog and Terry show up and they tell their tale about killing 2 guards, because they definitely did kill 2 guards. Grog manages perfect deception checks and several bad insight checks, and some BS later, the jig is up. Terry apologizes for all of his mistakes, but he's glad that he's still on an adventure with the rest of the party. To celebrate, they toast, and Terry actually sings a fucking fight song. Holy shit. Percy helps Dodie get rid of the disguise. The next morning, dresses are picked up, and crowns are ready for some red-haired heads. A transplant later, they arrive at Zephyra. Once there, a bunch of kids find them, and Kiki recognizes a kid that she babysat for a long time, Sora, who goes to seek Kiki's father. And then the parade comes. Corin arrives, a bit of a limp behind him. They talk about the siege of Amon, and Keyleth tells her dad that she did the thing. He knew, he just wanted to hear her say it. Preparations for the ceremony begin, and Vox Machina gains a new fan club as tons of people ask them about their adventures. Grog gets a bunch of new friends. The kids remind him of gnomes, and he is content. The decor is set in, and the town square is prepared at a central tree. When he gets a moment, Vax finds Corin, who's kind of been avoiding him for a while, and makes a beeline towards him. Thankfully, it's not awkward as Vax just fanboys over Kiki and tells Corin that he's seen Keyleth do some badass things. Then Vax gets head pats. Much more than his own dad ever gave him. I'm not crying, you're crying. Anyway, the ceremony begins, and as Corin speaks, the cherry blossoms bloom. The speech speaks of the connection between Keyleth and her mother, Villia, and the strength and discipline that she instilled in her daughter. Some acolytes prepare a huge mantle and hand it to Corin, and he sings a singular note as the rest of the people in Zephyra, and Vox Machina as well, follow along. Keyleth rises to the occasion. She walks up instinctually and accepts the mantle. Corin then asks her to rise and accept the title, and leaves her be as she does. She gives her thanks to Zephyra and the rest of the Ashari, the citizens of Taldore, Marquette, and even Wildmount. She speaks of the leadership as she gained, and leadership being a global effort. Most of all, she thanks Vox Machina, her family, for everything, especially the bits she's taken from them and learned from them. Grog's strength and loyalty, Vex's self-confidence and fearlessness, Vax's compassion and sometimes foolish bravery, Percy's intelligence and sensibility, Scanlan's charm and wit, Pike's generosity and authenticity, and even Terry's perseverance and blind faith in his new friends. Her point is that she's made up of all these people, all those experiences. She doesn't know if she's the leader that they deserve, but she's gonna try. Then the cherry blossoms bloom and fly as the Zephyra cheer. Corin says that he's proud of her. And Keyleth gains the inspiring leader feat. Woo! The Aramente is finished, and Keyleth is finally the leader she was destined to be. Up next is the Iron City of Dis. Is Hodis toast? Let me know what you think, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Then you can help me get Grog into some pants by heading to Twitter here. I've been Arthur from Natural 9, and is it Thursday yet?